Hi, I'm Jessica Sabatini.
And I'm Catherine Phillips, and we're with the Center for Integrated Transformation, which is dedicated to the creation of a new world through the inner transformation of individuals, businesses, and communities.
And this is part 10 of our Stepping into Flow series, Embracing the Feminine.
When we talk about embracing the feminine, what we're talking about are the archetypically feminine qualities that are present in all of us and in the universe, and that we have tended to not prioritize. In the way that we have lived life and structured our society, we have tended to prioritize and make
give more power
to the archetypically masculine qualities that are present in all of us and in the universe. And that means that all of us carry in our unconscious minds, and sometimes in our conscious minds, but oftentimes mostly in our unconscious mind, all sorts of judgments and kind of value statements about these archetypically feminine qualities. And once you start really trying to listen to your intuition and step into flow, it requires you embodying the fullness of who you are. It requires you embodying your masculine qualities and your feminine qualities. But because there's been so much unconscious judgment of those feminine qualities, that can really be an edge for people to really embrace the archetypically feminine qualities within themselves.
Because as a society, as a people, we've been kind of conditioned to think certain feminine things are frivolous, are naive, are weak. And so we are kind of our default is to want to push that or push it down, push it to the side or push it down. I do this myself. I'll be in a meeting and we got to get something done. And somebody will introduce this idea that's more open and expansive and inclusive rather than directly getting to the answer. And, there might be a little part of myself, or maybe you've experienced it, where it's like, oh, but no, that's not, people are going to think that's not direct enough or not strong enough. And then even catching myself from that conditioning that we all have experienced of, well, wait a second. I'm going to embrace this feminine. So I'm going to make space for this, because actually this solution, now that I'm like really going with it, is more expansive. It's more inclusive. It actually will give us a bigger result, a more satisfying result. It helps in more areas than just the one solution we were looking for. It actually impacts a broader spectrum in a more positive way. So the reason why we actively at the center talk about embracing the feminine is that it is an active thing. It's not just, oh yeah, feminine's important too. You have, because of our conditioning, you have to actually take an active embracing of it, to remind yourself of that, to really get into that.
So what are some ways that you can practice embodying and embracing your feminine energy? What does that look like? So one example might be, you referenced openness, right? Like that is an archetypically feminine quality, to be open to what is, open to yourself, the fullness of yourself, open to the fullness of experience around you, with a kind of non-judgmental attitude of just receptivity to receiving what the universe has to offer, as opposed to going out and seeking.
It's also feminine qualities can be soft and round, that can kind of have a sense of flow and swing to them. So sometimes we have to stop our motor running of like, I have to get there to, okay, this soft and roundness, it can be valuable. Wow, I'm feeling much more at peace. I'm feeling more grounded. My body feels healthier taking this approach. This is a very life-giving way of approaching this aspect, this problem, this challenge, this excitement, this pleasure. So there's that sense of noticing when things are round and soft and catching yourself.
Another quality can be that the feminine can bring is this nurturing quality, and that's something that we experience in our work process here at the center, is to remember to nurture ourselves and nurture one another. That's a really important part of being able to bring the fullness of who you are, is to have this sense of kindness and love and care for yourself and for other people around you. So that might look like privileging your emotional state before your to-do list sometimes.
And, a lot of in the last 100 years, we've been kind of obsessed with this culture of survival of the fittest. Like the fittest, you must be the strongest, the fittest, to survive. And what we miss is that in that same document that mentions survival of the fittest, there was much more description about the power of nurturing. Whatever qualities, whatever creatures, whatever groups that truly nurture each other, those actually are how we create the fitness. So it's not by competing that we create fitness, being the fittest. It's through nurturing and loving and taking care of that we actually create that sense of strength. So we have to include this. So one of the things that we're not talking about, the masculine has been here and the feminine has been down here, and now we're switching them. But we're bringing them back into balance, because this is really where the power is, where these two can come together. They can really embrace each other. We can use that sense of drive and determination and strength with this sense of nurturing, flowing, roundness and inclusiveness to really all get there together. Because again, we're moving away from this, a singular individual is going to be the one at the top versus all of us together as a collective. We are going to collectively rise together. And for that to happen effectively, we really need the masculine aspects of ourselves, our businesses, our communities, our society, and the feminine aspect of ourselves, our businesses, and our communities to really work together. So it's time for us to embrace the feminine.
And if you want to learn more about the programs and services that we offer at the center to help you come into balance with your masculine and feminine qualities, go to our website at www.centerforintegratedtransformation.com.
And remember, change is not only possible, it's already happening in yourself and in the world.